Guilt tripping. This is when someone makes you feel guilty for something, even if it's not your fault, to get you to do what they want. Ever had someone say, "After everything I've done for you, you can't do this one thing for me"? That's guilt tripping. This tactic preys on your sense of duty and obligation, making you feel responsible for the manipulator's happiness. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is when someone makes you question your reality. They might say things like, "You're just being too sensitive," or "That never happened." Over time, it can make you doubt your own perceptions and memories. This tactic erodes your confidence and makes you more dependent on the manipulator's version of events. Love bombing. Love bombing involves showering someone with excessive affection and attention to gain control over them. It feels amazing at first, but it's often followed by manipulation and control once you're hooked. The initial phase is intoxicating, making it hard to see the manipulative intentions that lie beneath the surface. Silent treatment. Silent treatment is when someone ignores you to make you feel insignificant or guilty. It's a passive-aggressive way to control the situation and make you come crawling back. This tactic creates anxiety and confusion, as you're left wondering what you did wrong and how to fix it. Playing the victim. Playing the victim involves someone always portraying themselves as the helpless victim to gain sympathy and control over others. They deflect responsibility and make you feel responsible for their problems. This tactic manipulates your empathy and compassion, making you more likely to comply with their demands. Bribery. Bribery is when someone offers you something you want in exchange for doing something they want. It might seem harmless, but it's a form of manipulation that can make you compromise your values. By appealing to your desires, the manipulator can coerce you into actions you might otherwise avoid. Triangulation. Triangulation is when a manipulator brings a third person into the situation to create conflict or jealousy, keeping you off balance and easier to control. This tactic divides and conquers, creating rivalry and tension to distract from the manipulator's true intentions. Projection. Projection is when someone accuses you of what they themselves are doing. For example, a cheater might accuse their partner of being unfaithful to deflect suspicion from their own actions. This tactic confuses and disorients the victim, making it harder to see the manipulator's true behavior. Shaming. Shaming is a tactic where the manipulator makes you feel embarrassed or inferior to control you. They might say things like, "I can't believe you would do something so stupid." This tactic undermines your self-esteem and makes you more susceptible to the manipulator's influence and control. Blame shifting. Blame shifting occurs when the manipulator blames you for their mistakes or problems, making you feel responsible for their actions. This tactic avoids accountability and places undue burden on you, making it difficult to address the real issues at hand. Minimization. Minimization is when someone downplays your feelings or experiences, making you feel like they're not important. They might say, "You're overreacting," or "It's not a big deal." This tactic invalidates your emotions and experiences, making you question your reactions and perceptions. Intimidation. Intimidation involves using fear to control someone. This can be done through threats, aggressive behavior, or even subtle gestures that make you feel unsafe. This tactic creates a power imbalance, making it difficult to stand up to the manipulator and assert your own needs. Isolation. Isolation is when a manipulator tries to cut you off from friends, family, or other support systems to make you more dependent on them. This tactic limits your access to external perspectives and resources, making you more vulnerable to the manipulator's influence. Stonewalling. Stonewalling is the refusal to communicate or engage in a conversation. It's a way to avoid accountability and frustrate the other person into submission. This tactic can create feelings of helplessness and desperation, as you're unable to resolve conflicts or address important issues. Love withdrawal. Love withdrawal is when someone takes away their affection and attention to punish you or manipulate your behavior. This tactic exploits your need for connection and approval, making you more likely to conform to the manipulator's expectations to regain their love. Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology is a tactic where someone suggests the opposite of what they want, hoping you'll react against their suggestion and do what they actually want. This tactic can be subtle and confusing, making it difficult to recognize the manipulator's true intentions. Exaggeration. Exaggeration involves overstating or embellishing facts to make a situation seem more dire or impressive than it really is, often to manipulate emotions. This tactic can create unnecessary urgency or fear, pushing you to act in ways that benefit the manipulator. Bait and switch. Bait and switch is when someone lures you in with one thing but then changes the offer once you're involved, manipulating you into agreeing to something different. This tactic relies on initial trust and investment, making it harder to back out once the terms change.